Hey guys, SoloGamer here, and we're back and we're going to be talking about a new game called Ghost Stories. Now first, I love board games, and I do have a preference toward horror board games. I just love them, and I'm constantly on the lookout for new horror board games. And a couple months back, when I was just tired of the ones that I had and wanted to try a new one, I kept looking and a game kept popping up called Ghost Stories. Now when I looked at it, it looked like it was Japanimation anime type style game, and I really can't stand Japanimation to anime. I'm really not into it, so I just kept putting it off and not really paying it much attention. But I always had it in the back of my mind. And then I saw a review for it on Dice Tower Review, and then what really got me going in that direction was I saw the Lonesome Gamer play it. So a shout out to them. So I went ahead and got it, and it's called Ghost Stories by Repost Productions. Now first I'd like to say something about Repost Productions. If you go to their website and look at the thing about Ghost Stories and stuff like that, they don't have a real supportive website. Not something like Fantasy Flight Games or Flying Frog Productions or even Guillotine Games and stuff like that. So that is a little down mark against them. But you're not going to find any free stuff or any type of stuff like that on their website. So that is a mark against them, and if you're really into that, their website gives you free stuff or really just supports the game and stuff like that, you're not going to find it with this. Other than that, don't let it be a downfall. Don't hold it against the game. Also, this game this is one of the harder games that I have. Ghost Stories is it here, and you'll see when we play, but this is a really hard game. It's for 1 to 4 players. You can play it solo. There are rules for it. You can play it solo a couple different ways, and we'll go over that when we get to play. But this is a fun game. It is a hard game, but it's a very fun game. And the artwork is not Japanimation anime. It's more of just a traditional Japanese style type art. And okay, I like that. So I'm glad I got this game. It's a fun game, and for people who don't like Japanimation anime type stuff, it's not like that at all. It's a good Japanese style art. The artwork is very good for it, and you'll see when we start using the cards and stuff. It does come with 2 expansions. Now in this playthrough, we're just going to play with the base game, and then later playthroughs we're going to add an expansion each time. But the first expansion they added to this is the White Moon expansion, and basically what this does is it adds some new village tiles, new ghost cards, a couple new incantations and Wang Fu cards. He's the bad guy, and of course a protector, a guardian, and a very new mechanic, the village tiles. And you take the little village tile tokens, and like I said, we'll get more into this when we actually play this expansion, and put them on the board. And not only besides saving the village, you have to save villagers and stuff like that. This does make the game a little bit easier when you have your protector ghost on there. I can't remember, Su Ling, I think is her name, and she helps you out and tries to protect you. So this makes the game a little bit easier. But if you want it even harder, they have a 3rd expansion called Black Secret. And this actually, what it does is you can add another player to this. Now I know it says 2 through 5 players, and the new player you add, it actually gets to be Wu Fang, the bad guy. So you can be the bad guy and he can play against other players who are being the good guys. But there are ways to play this game solo. And as a matter of fact, there are ways to add all the expansions to play with each other, or if you wanted to mix and match, there are ways to do it. And we'll go over that later on when we play further with these expansions. And basically what this expansion does, is, besides adding new cards, some new tiles, it adds a lot more mechanics. The bad guy player gets to be Wu Fang, and it adds a new underworld board, demons and stuff like that. So it does add a lot. But like I said, if you thought the game was hard in the first place, this thing even makes it even harder. And I got to tell you, the artwork, as usual, is spectacular for it. And like I said, it just a few more rules you have to learn, and it's easy to play. with all of them. But today we're going to go over just the base set. So we'll stop right there, get the game set up, and we'll go over how the game gets set up. Alright, so we have the game set here, and let's go over what we got. You have 4 good guy players, yellow, red, blue, green, and these are what they call Taoist monks. Excuse me. And each monk has a special ability, a different special ability, and also if you flip the card over, they have another special ability. What you're supposed to do is randomly pick what side of the card you're going to use. Each monk starts out with a yin yang token, and this has a special ability, and 4 I guess chi points. These are life points, and a Dao token of the respective color, and a black Dao token. So you see red, he got a red and black Dao token, blue got a blue and black Dao token, and green got a green and black Dao token, and that's how that goes. The board is consisted of these 9 little tiles here. As you see, I can move the tiles. You randomly pick which tiles you're going to use, and you put them on the board. And each tile represents a certain place of the village, and each tile has a special ability. Now, if this tile ever becomes haunted, which we'll go into that later, you flip the tile over and you can no longer use the special ability. One of the ways to lose this game is if the 3 tiles become haunted, then you lose the game. You lose the game if all players lose their life points. And there's another way to lose the game. We'll go over that in a second. So, like I say, each tile has their special ability, and we'll go over each special abilities as we use them. We have the haunting ghost markers here. Nice little things. And basically what they're for is on certain cards, a haunting ghost is going to come into play. And when you put that haunting ghost into play, you're going to put him on the card that he comes into play on. And then the next turn, say he's on the blue marker's turn, the next turn he's going to move here. Right there, off the card, because you put the cards down in these little spots. Off the card, and then he moves there. And then the third turn that he gets to move, he goes here, and he haunts a tile, and then you flip a tile over, and he starts back on that card. Okay? That's how that works. Here you see we have the die, and they all have colors on them. They all come with a blue, red, yellow, green, and a white, which white will be a wild. You can make white any color, and a black. And then we have the curse die, and that's pretty bad if you have to roll it, and it usually harms you in some crappy way. And then we have the ghost cards. Now the bad guy in this game is Wu Fang. Okay? And the object of the game is to beat him. Now, you take his card, which is a little different from the others, and you put it in the deck. Now the deck consists of 55 cards. You put 45 ghost cards on top. You put Wu Fang's card after the 45, and then you put the last 10 on the below him, and you go through the deck hoping to survive long enough to pull up Wu Fang's card. And then when Wu Fang's card comes into play, you basically have 10 turns or 10 other cards to flip, and you have to beat him before you go through the entire deck. If you got his card out on the board to play, and the deck runs out and you still haven't beat him, he wins. So he's got several ways he can win. The only way for you to win in this game is to beat him. And we'll go over how you fight these ghost cards and everything like that when we start playing the game. We'll just have a few little minor end tokens here. Some ghosts have these special powers to where you can't use your little tokens here, your little Dao tokens, and so you put that on the board. And then of course when some ghosts have these special things to where you lose your special ability, and you put this on your player when he loses his special ability. It's a real basic, simple game, but it's fun. And that's one of the good things about it. there are a lot of other little things to learn, like what each tile does and stuff like that. In the instruction manual comes with a little guide that tells you what each tile does and all these special abilities. So it's real easy. You don't really even have to memorize these things. You know, just look there real quick and you'll see what they are. But after a while of playing, you will end up eventually just remembering what each one is and not even have to look at the rule book. So like I said, I'll show you how the turn order goes. I'll show you how to play, and then we'll have some thoughts about it. And I just wanted to say that I picked everything randomly. So I picked the heroes randomly. The incarnation of Wu Fang has been randomly picked and put in the deck, so we don't know who he is. So, you know, like I said, he comes with several cards. You put one, you have no idea what it is, you put it in the deck, and you hope you get one that's kind of easy, or one that you basically prepared for during the game. So we'll stop here, we'll load this thing up, and then we'll start playing.